Greetings, my name is Robert and I'm the owner of MARET Systems International and I'm the developer of the MARETweb Project. You're watching a video about the factors associated with all of the MARETweb assessments. So we're going to look at each assessment and all of the factors that you can find under each one. This will give you a very broad overview of exactly what the MARET system assessments do. Today is September 23, 2020, and like, share, subscribe this video. It really helps us get higher ranking in that whole system. So without further ado, let's get into this system. The MARETweb assessments, there's 10 of them in the system. They are addictions, cognitive behavioral client assessment, home of origin inventory, MARET anger diagnosis, marriage inventory, personal portrait inventory, personality spectrum analysis, premarital inventory, QuikTest and QuikTest for youth, and spiritual gifts assessment. In addition to these 10, there's two other significant factors that are extracted from the personality spectrum analysis, and those are elements related to psychopathy and schizotypy. Addictions and dependency survey. Let's look at the areas that are scored. Alcohol and drugs as physiological addictions, of which there are physiological and potentially harmful withdrawals. Compulsive pseudo-addictive behaviors, these have been called addictions over the years, but really they don't have the criteria of causing physical issues when they're cut off that might be damaging. But those are food, sex, religion, work, and gambling. Dependent codependent emotions, need to control, coping skills, thrill-seeking, instant gratification, fear of failure, fear of rejection, previous relationship issues, and shame. All of these are things that are highly associated with addictions and also with codependency, which is its own breakout score. Cognitive behavioral client assessment. This has to do with CBC, cognitive behavioral therapy. And as long as a person is being counseled with CBT, the client assessment should be given every session. We look at 13 cognitive distortions, including minimizing, maximizing, catastrophizing, generalizing, magic thinking, personalizing, mind reading, fortune telling, emotional reasoning, discounting positives, should statements, all or nothing, blaming, and labeling. Home of origins inventory, extremely important one. Adult responsibilities as a child, abandonment issues, attachment issues, parental neglect, maternal issues, emotional issues, hostile environment, indications of abuse, social development issues, adverse parenting styles, suicidal ideations, personal behaviors, and personal emotional issues. MARET anger diagnosis. So you notice that spells MAD. There's a number of different groups here that are separated out. One is clinical analysis, and that's intermittent explosive disorder, mental or memory loss, and abuser type anger. 3 kinds of manifestations for anger is physiological, emotional, behavioral manifestations. Anxiety, which is strongly correlated with anger issues, and then alternative anger expressions, and that would be like passive-aggressive anger. Marriage inventory, conflict resolution, crisis, home of origins issues, potential emotional abuse, dissatisfaction with the authority structure, financial management style, religious conflict, interpersonal conflict, sexual tension, lack of commitment, perceived financial crisis. Personal portrait inventory. Interpersonal issues will be aggression, need for visibility, interaction with others, and opinions of others. Cognitive issues, planning, speed of decisions, detail orientation, concrete thinking. Work issues, routine, single or multitasking, work speed and neatness. Group participation, confronting authorities, leadership, group motivation, rule orientation. And emotional stability will be emotional expression, mood swings, self-worth, and optimism versus pessimism. Personality spectrum analysis, one of our most used tests or assessments. Cluster A elevations, cluster B, cluster C, and then all 10 of the DSM-5 personalities: antisocial, avoidant, borderline, dependent, histrionic, narcissistic, obsessive compulsive, paranoid, schizoid, and schizotypal. We look at the optimal functioning versus the maladaptive behaviors and beliefs for each one of these 10. Premarital inventory is similar to the marriage inventory. We have conflict resolution, home of origins issues, potential emotional abuse, dissatisfaction with authority structure, financial management style, religious conflict, and interpersonal conflict. Psychopathy is embedded within the personality spectrum analysis, and here we're looking for antisocial, borderline, narcissistic, paranoid, and schizoid maladaptations, all of which, especially antisocial as a base, are associated with psychopathy. And then the addition of anger issues, disregard for rules, emotional states, emotional responses, control issues, egocentricity, relationship issues, personal responsibilities, and their treatment of others. QuikTest should be administered every session while there's any possibility at all that a client is in crisis. It's called QuikTest because it takes 7 to 15 minutes to complete, and it simply measures anxiety, depression, and potential for self-harm or personal safety issues. One of our most used, well, it is our most used tool. Schizotypy. This is the newest addition to the scoring matrix on PSA, and it is our newest measurement. The first issue is anhedonia, which is the inability to seek after or experience pleasure. Anxiety, cluster A combined score, dependency, depression, flat affect, grandiosity, indifference, intermittent explosive disorder, irritability, paranoid personality maladaptation, repetition, schizoid personality maladaptation, as well as schizotypal personality maladaptation, self-esteem, self-harm potential, and sexual social issues. Spiritual gifts. We've included this because there are a number of pastors who use this system, and there are people who have found this to be very useful. We judge wisdom, knowledge, faith, helps, administration, proclamation, teaching, exhortation, giving, mercy, and service. Those are the all of the assessments and all of the areas scored under those assessments. Hope you found this to be useful.